Welcome back. In this week's video, we're going to be talking about Addigy's monitoring feature. This feature lets you stay on top of and quickly remediate potential issues with your fleet without having to interact with the computer or the user directly. So what is monitoring exactly? Well, monitoring uses device facts and alerts and remediations. So it says if device fact equals this, then either alert me or go ahead and remediate this automatically. So we'll jump into that now. So over here in Addigy, we have the monitoring dashboard. And we'll come back to this in a second, but where I want to start is the catalog. So we're going to go to catalog and monitoring. I have a few examples of these monitoring items that I'm going to walk through pretty quickly. We're not going to deep dive into the custom facts and remediations as far as the scripting themselves. This is just to go over some different examples that maybe spark some ideas for you and how you can use monitoring items. So is a device been offline longer than a month? This helps me stay on track of computers that maybe we've decommissioned and have forgotten to delete, or potential issues of computers not checking in when they're supposed to be. So what this one does, if we go in here and edit it, it basically says, does the device fact of offline hours, which is an Addigy created fact, is it greater than 720? In this case, that's hours. So if it is, then it's going to send an email to a Slack channel I have created. And that lets me stay on track of it and know, hey, I need to come in and look at this device and see what's going on. Another one we use a lot is there are some customers who definitely don't want to use Grammarly desktop on their Macs and don't want their users have it. So what this does is instead of us trying to make sure that it's not installed every time we get on a computer, it comes in here and checks and says, it checks the device fact, is Grammarly desktop installed? If that equals true, then it runs a saved script that I have, which is to uninstall Grammarly desktop. This saves me a ton of time where I don't have to even think about it. It just happens behind the scenes. A third example we use a lot is the battery capacity loss. So this one lets us know, hey, is a battery under the value of 20%? And if that is true, again, it's going to send something to my Slack channel there. And then I would say the one that I probably use the most and rely on the most are to monitor when MDM isn't working properly. So for example, if privileged MDM isn't enabled on a computer, this lets me know that the device fact of privileged MDM equals false. And then it's going to actually generate a ticket in our ticketing system for that one. That way we know when there is a solution that requires user interaction, it just speeds up the whole process of rather than me trying to find out about it, then having to generate a ticket. This just streamlines that whole process. Addigy's checking for this and can automatically generate a ticket so that we can get on it quickly. So then what happens when these items are actually triggered? Well, that's where our monitoring dashboard comes in. So the monitoring dashboard, like most things in Addigy, you can filter by policy or a specific subset of filter rules. So typically what I do is I come in here and I go by all, and you can also set different categories for each one. So whether it's like a battery issue, a disk issue, that kind of thing. If you have a lot of tickets or if you have a lot of monitoring items coming in, that can be really helpful to filter in which ones you want to see and not see. So for example, I have this one computer here that is saying that it hasn't checked in 736 hours. So that tells me, hey, I need to go see why that computer isn't checking in. Was it decommissioned and we didn't remove it, or was it is it just a spare? Now with this computer, I happen to know it's just a spare. So what I typically do with those is I want to keep up on that kind of stuff. So I check it, and then I'm just going to mute it for 30 days. So that in 30 more days, if it still hasn't checked in, it's going to let me know that, hey, this device still hasn't checked in. Another thing to remember as you're deploying these is whatever custom fact you are reporting on has to be deployed to the policy as well. So creating a monitoring item doesn't deploy the custom fact. So you need to make sure that you're reporting on things like the battery status by pushing out that fact to the policy ahead of time. That way the monitoring item is reporting on that. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about this video with monitoring items or with Addigy or with MDM in general, I'd love to help you and your business come up with a solution for those. I can be reached at the Mac Admin Slack channel at Marshall_CIT via email marshall@cranstoninc.com or at cranstonit.com. Thanks for watching.